guys, welcome back. Today is day 6 of the study, What If God Wrote Your Bucket List by Jay Payleitner. The title of today's study is Go to Funerals. I'm going to start out by reading some of the study and then Amber's going to read the rest of it.
Because it's a lot, so we're going to split it.
Every few years there's a news story about some guy who specified in his will that his last wish was to be buried in his car. The evening newscast treats us to a video of a 1973 Pontiac or a 1941 Studebaker being lowered into an extra-wide grave. It's reminiscent of the Egyptian pharaohs who are typically entombed with all kinds of gear and provisions of their upcoming journey into the afterlife. On occasion, even a few mistresses, servants, and pets were tossed in so the mummy wouldn't be lonely along the way.
Live?
I don't know. That's weird.
That is weird. I wonder.
These stories are news because they don't happen very often. Most funerals aren't about the dearly departed's possessions. Instead, the memories, conversations, tributes, and photo albums more often focus on relationships. When a son or daughter delivers a eulogy, they don't talk about money spent on things, they talk about time spent together. Business associates may mention how Dan was a fierce negotiator or Lenya was a tech wizard. But the reflections that mean the most will be about moments of kindness, generosity, availability, and courage. Photographs on display are typically filled with people, not possessions. If a younger version of the deceased happens to be posed in front of a shiny Ford or classic Volkswagen, you can be sure there's a story to go along with it. If they're posing with a trophy, blue ribbon, craft project, or a string of walleye pike, you know the photo is not really about what they're holding. The photographer is capturing a moment as friends and fans celebrate an experience. Memorial services reveal that a person's character is more treasured than their cash value. If you attend a funeral where that is not the case, the atmosphere is tainted with awkward silences, inconsequential small talk, and forced accolades. I wouldn't want to be lying in the casket.
Put another way, there are funerals that leave you blessed and funerals that leave you pained. And there's great agony anytime the service is for a younger man, woman, or child whose life seems to be cut short. But if you attend a memorial service with an attitude of respect and receptivity, there's much to gain. You'll see that personal glory is much too small of a thing to live for. Honor comes in living and dying for something much bigger than ourselves. And the ancient Greek philosopher Epicurus was onto something when he said, "The art of living well and the art of dying well are one." If a person's legacy is measured solely by the size of their estate, conversations after their death will focus on how their fortune is distributed between their heirs, who happen to be suffering little remorse. How sad is that? The argument can be made that such a person wastes both their life and death. Matthew 16:26 confirms, "For what will it profit for a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul?" Attending funerals should be on the bucket list of every thoughtful individual, not as some kind of morbid hobby, but as a reminder of the value of life and the inevitability of death. If I still had my '66 Volkswagen, I might consider trying to take it with me into the afterlife. I think it will do well on those heavenly streets paved with gold. Unfortunately, it got scrapped back in 1975 after I rolled it on an icy entrance ramp on the Eisenhower Expressway. My cars since then have been a long procession of nondescript hatchbacks and minivans. My funeral may not make the evening news, but in a very real sense, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you can make it. I don't really know how I feel about the whole funeral thing.
Me either.
Yeah. I mean, I understand, living your life fully and not forgetting that you're living your life for a better afterlife. And I think that you should go and pay your respects.
It's the things that we can't see or feel, the things that we can't hold on to that really matter.
The last thing he says is live for something you can't hold on to, and you'll never fear death. As Jesus said in John 12:25, anyone who loves their life will lose it, while anyone who hates their life in this world will keep it for eternal life. So his main point in this was just not to fear death. And I think that's a good point. You shouldn't, if you're saved, then you should know where you're going, and you should be confident in that, and you shouldn't fear death. And you should live your life with the confidence of knowing where you're going after death, and that will help you not to consume yourself with the thoughts of death.
That's it for this study, guys. We hope you got something out of it. We weren't real sure about this study, but maybe you got something that we didn't get. Leave it in the comments if you did.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.